I'm Brad Meyer. I'm running for the U.S. House of Representatives. I started running some time ago, and in that time I've written 15 to 20 different speeches. And it's hard for me to memorize speeches, and I have to stop that. So I wrote a stump speech, and I've rewritten it several times, and I swore to myself that everywhere I go, I'm going to give the stump speech, which is right here. And I'm going to set it aside again and violate my own promise to myself because I wrote some notes and I just like to talk from the heart for a little bit. I never planned on running for public office. My wife and I were on a glide path to a comfortable retirement, and life was good, and I loved the job that I had. I was a Navy civilian engineer, and I believed in the mission. And part of that job, I swore an oath to the Constitution. And when Trump and his operatives came to power, it was clear that they didn't give a crap about their oath to the Constitution or their responsibilities to us, right? They were driven by personal greed and greed for power, and they used manufactured anger in order to get what they want. And as I listened to them, I felt anger. Did anybody else by any chance feel any anger in the last year? Right? And the reason that I was angry is that they're tearing apart the basic idea that we're all in this together and that we're part of a community. All 340 million of us are part of a community, and they're tearing that apart so that we don't recognize that they're scraping all the money and opportunity into their own pockets, right? So I'm running, right? And I'm starting to get a lot of advice from people. And one of the things that I've been told, they said, well, Brad, just stay away from identity politics, right? You don't need to swing at every pitch, and you don't need to talk about a lot of these things. And that may be true, but I have to speak out, and we all have to speak out. When we see ICE tearing our neighbors out of their bedrooms, when we see congressmen recommending institutionalization, I always have trouble with that word, of trans people, when we see a Department of Education that's supposed to be protecting minorities to make sure that they have equal education, when that enforcement is being gutted. It's not identity politics when the Justice Department enforcement is being taken away for voting protections. It's not identity politics when women have to go through extra barriers to start voting, right? We have to speak out, and we have to have the courage to speak out. And one of the things, it's all your fault, frankly, that I'm rewriting, because I was thinking about, do something, and what y'all are doing, and you're modeling courage for the rest of us, right? And that courage, is what's going to, honestly, we're not going to get Erin Houchin to change her mind because we're mad, right? We know she knows we're pissed, and she's happy about it, right? But what y'all are doing, and what we're all trying to do with these protests and standing out, is we're trying to model courage. We're modeling courage for the Republicans that know that this is wrong, but don't say anything because they just want to get along with their neighbors, right? We're modeling courage for the independents that want a good working government, but don't want to get into the fray. And frankly, we're modeling courage for the Democrats that are scrubbing their social media and scraping off bumper stickers so that they won't be identified, right? This courage is contagious. So I'm not running a normal campaign. I have spent huge amounts of time not raising money. And I started out, which is not good, but that's what I've been doing, right? I've been focusing, we've done a couple of universal health care forums. Here in New Albany is one of them. I had 3 disabilities roundtables up in Monroe County, learning more about the issues with disabilities community and what help they needed in education and what they helped and what my economics policy should do to include them. So And then healthcare was another one. I led an ICE protest at Camp Atterbury, right? And I led a rally at Salem because Aaron Houchin isn't showing up, right? I rented the entire fairgrounds in her hometown, and we had a rally, and then we drove by her office, right, to make the point that she needs to hear from us. And of course, she wasn't there. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
So another piece of advice that I've been getting that I disagree with. A guy said, "Brad, you need to stop telling people that you quit your job a year short of early retirement to save democracy, because that sounds crazy." Right? And okay, I admit it is crazy to run as a Democrat in Southern Indiana, right? You've got to be an optimist to run as a Democrat in Southern Indiana. It's going to take a lot of work, right? But what's really, really crazy is standing on the sidelines with your hands in your pockets while they tear apart our democracy. That is crazy. We have to do something, right? So if this makes sense to you, if you're my kind of crazy, I need your help. Right? I need your support, I need your volunteerism, and I'm going to need your vote. So please consider me. I'm Brad Meyer, and this is why I'm running for Congress. Thank you.